guys. Oh my god. My eyes burn. My eyes burn.
Hi.
Hi.
It's working.
I know, finally. I was on your live and I was like, bro, why is it not working? I don't know.
Well, thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you.
I'm very happy to. My computer is okay. Yeah, I mean, I just I asked Twitter if they suggested anyone to me who would benefit from using my platform to speak about what's happening in the world right now. And your name was one of the first accounts that I was suggested, so I figured,
Aww.
let's do it. And I just want to let you have this time to speak, and whatever you want to say, you have thousands of people who are willing to listen.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I just want to say, like, the unity that's happening right now is unbelievable. I've honestly never seen anything like this. I know it's like been protests, like with the Mike Brown. That's when I first started when I was 13 years old, and I will talk about that. But I've seen a lot of unity, like literally. I'm not saying that I haven't seen it before, but it's something I haven't seen. It's so different this time, and like, it's something about George Floyd's murder that like hunts me. It like gets to me. Like, I don't know. It's something about his murder that like strikes something in me that's like I can't explain. I can't explain. It's something I can't really touch, like put a finger on. But it's something that
it was about his murder that kind of was the tipping point. Like, do you think was it? What was it about?
The fact that people like, I'm not saying, okay, so it's always the cops' words against the black people, like, so it's good to have proof, but at the same time, I saw him when I watched that video, my heart crushed. I straight bawled, like just crying, because I thought about my brothers. I have black brothers, and like just the thought of them being on the ground like that, no. And then people just standing around recording and not saying that I'm not saying that because I know it's always the police words against the black persons where I already know that, but it's like at the same time it's like it comes a point in time where you see a human being as a human being, and like that's how I saw George Floyd. If I was there, I don't care. Forget getting maced, forget getting tased. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. He's a human being, before anything else. Before he's a black man to me, I know he's a black man, it's apparent, his color. But before anything, he's a human being that was asking to live. He was begging for his life. He was calling out to his dead mom, his deceased mom, I'm sorry. But I don't know, it just touched my heart. And God, I don't know, it pulls on my heartstrings, and I do everything that I can to fight. And I want to go back to like when I first started. I was 13 years old. That's when Mike Brown like was murdered. And I remember like listening to music. I was like listening to the radio or something, and then that's when I heard, it was like a black man in the street or something like that. It was just telling him that it was like he was laying in the street. He was in the street for 4.5 hours. Like, this is horrible, So I listened to the radio and everything. Like, they was just telling like his body and description of him and all of that. And it was just like, what? And I was like, instantly I thought of my brother. I was only 13, but like, I was like, this is not right. 4.5 hours, this man was laying in the street like that. And then the fact that we saw his body, like, I don't even know. I think that traumatized me more than anything because it was in my neighborhood. It was in my community. So it's like, bro, I just can't. And then when I thought about it, I thought about, like, I was 13 and I was like, nobody's gonna listen to me. I thought about it, but I was like, this is something I feel so passionately for and like about, and this is something I'm like passionate to talk about, because this is not okay for like black men to keep getting killed like this. And then their names in the hashtags are in front of their names time after time again. And when I first discovered that, I was like, when I was 13, when I first came to realization, like, this is a problem. I was 13. I didn't know everything there was to know, right? But I knew enough to know, like, this is not right. Like, 4.5 hours? No. Yeah. But like, the thing is, how I started the activism, I was like, did a sit-in at my school. I like asked the teachers and stuff, can we do like a peaceful sit-in at my school? And then I like led a protest or whatever. Like, I joined the Black Lives Matter protest, like that was out there, like tear gas, mace, and all that kind of stuff. It was like burnt, like it literally burnt my face and my nose, all of that. Like I just remember everything.
For 13.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Wow.
And like people tell me, people to like, I know people say, oh, she didn't have no business out there, but at the same time, you not me. And it was mainly my white counterparts who said, oh, she's like, why are you doing that? All lives matter and all this. And they used to argue with me on this, and like they used to like try to make me stray away from my message, but I never did. I never did, because I stood up for what I believed in at all costs. I was like, if that means losing everything, so be it. I mean, I'd rather stand for something. I'd rather live standing for something than not die standing for nothing, you know? So that's what that's just where I'm at, honestly. And I feel like I'm just at this thing where I like felt so much rage with George Floyd's murder. Like I felt so much rage, and I find myself just get angry at everybody. Like I try not to, and I know they didn't like do anything to me, but I just was angry, like when he first like was murdered or whatever, just a few days ago. This was literally a few days ago, where I was just like really just stuck in my own head. And I'm like, I can't believe what I just saw. I have literally had a nightmare the night of the day of us, the night of seeing it. I'm sorry. And when I woke up, I was just so angry. I was like, I don't know. I knew I was angry, but I was like, I'm just tired of this. I'm really tired of this. Like, I think of my Black brothers and the fear that my 15-year-old brother like expressed all the time. I think I'm gonna get killed by the police someday. I think I will. Like, what? Like, how was that even going through his 15-year-old brain at that time? I just don't get it. I can't even comprehend it at this point. Like, I can't. So, just the fact that he think like that, I would want. And also, my nephew is he'll be 9 this year, 8 or 9, and just the fact that like they think about this kind of stuff as Black young men here, and it's not surprising, but it also hurts me, like, to think like they think like this. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, but like I'm just normally like that. But it just gets to me the most, because the fact that they feel like, man, just for surviving, I'm just a bad person. I'm just a bad person for surviving. And that's not even the case. Like, Black is beautiful. We are valuable. Like, we are meant to be here. We belong here. Just like you, just like our white counterparts. We are just equal as you, but you don't see it though. You judge us off our skin color. Yeah. And you judge us and say that our skin is deemed bad, but it's not, because it comes from years of what you and your ancestors have done to our people. You know, like what your ancestors have done to our people for 400 plus years. Like, this is where it comes from. But I want to say, and I want to make that stance, like, we are not bad people. We are human just like you. We bleed the same. We cry just like you, like all of that. And people just don't get that. Ultimately, it's just a skin color, and it's so silly. Like, when you think about it, it's just so silly that people like really just care about that. You know, like that's all they care about. They don't care about your character and the kind of person you are. They just, oh, she's Black. She's Black. You know, yeah. I'm gonna hate her because she's Black. Like, what? You know how silly that sounds? You know, you need some an intervention with yourself, really. For sure. Like, seriously. Like, that, it's not normal to think that way. It's really not. And somebody interesting, a psychologist, like, messaged me or whatever. She said, I want to get something. She said, I want to get your advice as a Black young woman living here in America. I want to get your advice. She's like, would you label racism as a mental illness? And I was like, that's an interesting question. But you know what? I don't know. Because it's like, I got different things I got different like opinions on it. And I want to express that. Like, okay, so yeah, it's something not right about that. It's something you can't be right in the head if you thinking like, oh, just because this person is Black or, or not your color, that you feel the need to like be hateful and vile towards them, say some vile, like just messed up things to them. But also, it's just like, it comes to like it comes to like a point where you just like, you literally have to take accountability, because I know people try to like use barriers and say, oh, I've got a mental illness and stuff and like that, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but it's just like, at the same time, you have to take accountability. You really do.
Do people actually blame their racism on a mental illness?
Yes, that's why I said that's kind of interesting. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad you posed that question, but it's like, bro, you got to take accountability at some point. You can't keep.
Never heard of that. That's
right. Exactly, like a psychologist. She asked me like she DM'd me on Twitter and like asked me. She's like, "Well, I just want your opinion on this. Do you think like, because people have said this to her, like, do you think this this should be labeled as a mental illness?" And I'm just like, I don't know. That's an interesting question though, but I don't know. I can't give you a straight answer on that.
I mean, I think race is taught. You're not born racist.
Exactly.
Whereas, you know, you can be born with a mental illness. I think blaming your own racism and your inability to want to change and learn and enlighten yourself,
right.
It's a very excuse to be like, I can't. This is just my mental illness. It's like
right.
So many amazing posts lately and things that are like, it's okay to acknowledge that the way you've been thinking is wrong and change it. So I think there's so many people, because of their age, because of, you know, they're like, oh, I'm from a different time. It was different back then. It's like, great. Well, now it's 2020. Let's change. It's such a poor excuse to be sitting there and blaming your racism on. Yes. Anyways, continue.
No, I feel that though. But the fact you're right. You so right. And I want to piggyback off what you said. Like people, I've seen a lot of white people and my friends who grew up with racist parents, like say, I say no more. I'm not going to continue the cycle of racism, and I'm not going to teach this to my kids. I'm not going to continue this. I'm not going to let this be my generation where I continue the cycle of racism. Like this is going to end right here. So I've seen a lot of people that say that you don't have to be held like you don't have to let your past bind you or like hold you, hostage. Like you don't have to let that hold you hostage to like be a better person. Like you can always be a better person. You can always change. Like you don't have to you don't have to use the excuse, oh, my family, I grew up this way, so this is how it's always been. You can change it. You have the free right, you have the free will to do it, but you choose not to do it.
Yeah.
So that's not no excuse.
Right. And so what do you think, I mean, I guess I would like to know, as a white woman, like what can I do, or what behaviors have you seen in people who aren't colored? What actions can we take to just show that we're like fully in support of Black Lives Matter and that we can make a difference? I mean, I thought maybe just like lending my platform to anyone with a voice it's the least I can do, like truly the least I can do. So happy to do it, and I'm still messaging people and would love to do it for as many days and as many times as people want to talk. But I mean, just kind of speak to me about like how we as a community who are not Black can make the most, and what can we do as, I can't speak today, as the biggest impact we can have. What can we do? Right.
No, I get what you say. I get what you're trying to say. But I feel like something I want to touch base on what you just said, like what have you seen like non-people of color like do, like non-Black people do. So I want to say when I was at a protest, I kind of witnessed like it was like these white women, they were trying to speak for us, and I'm just like, bro, you could speak up, you could stand with us, but like don't speak for us as if you was in our like shoes. I hated that so much, and it touched me. It like really touched a nerve in me. I was just like, no, you can't do that. Then the thing is, I saw a lot of like, I get that you're trying to stand in solidarity, but please have some Black people up there when you're speaking, please. Like that is so important. And when you're like, especially when you're speaking out about something that affects us so much daily, like I just don't like that. And I get what they're trying to do. I get that, but it's just like it comes a point where you just like have to say you got to step back a little bit, but you also have to stand with us. Like it's that thin line between like you really have to like be cautious and mindful of like what you do and what you say while you standing with us and like all of that. But like I don't think people are aware of that, honestly. But like I said, they was like standing on a stage thing up there when we were at the protest. Luckily I got to speak there, but I had to kind of ask for them to pass me the mic. I'm just like, no, I don't like that. I shouldn't be asking for you to pass me the mic. That should be a given. Like you're speaking about Black Lives Matter, and I'm Black, and this is something that affects me, right? Like, but I shouldn't be having to ask you, can I get the mic? Can I speak now? Like, what? But that's something I didn't really like. But as far as that everything goes, it was a peaceful protest, and every protest I've been to recently, I've been days and days at different protests, and some I filmed, some I didn't film. I just wanted to be in the moment. But yeah, just that protest recently, huh?
Where are you? Like in the States?
Oh, I'm in Missouri.
Okay, okay. So you're going to protest in Missouri.
Yeah, I've been to the protest every single day. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Except for today because I've been doing a lot of other stuff, but like a lot of different interviews and stuff, and like just reaching out and all of that. And I also been like donating to like helping people get masks and different protection and stuff. Like the donations that I got, I've like just got to them because I don't know. I just feel like the need to give it to people so that really needs it. But the thing is, what I was saying was, I did like the fact that people were like, you know, just standing with us and stuff. I like that. I really like what they were doing.
Mm.
But the only thing was, that's the only thing that touched me the wrong way. They like rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that, please. That's something that you don't do. And then the thing is, when I spoke up, this other black girl, she said, yeah, I feel the same way, but I didn't want to say nothing. Like the fact that you feel like you have to be silent as a black